Hello everyone, and welcome to a little base game update video. I wanted to talk about some of the things that were updated today on the 5th of December 2023 in preparation for the launch of the For Rent pack in a couple of days. So let's talk about the things that have been updated in base game. So first up, it is going to be syncs. So here we have the ability now to set the sink type. This is amazing. For anyone that plays The Sims, you'll be like, ah! So we can set it as a kitchen sink or a bathroom sink, or you can just leave it as is if you're not too bothered. But you can set that now as a kitchen sink and they'll wash the dishes hopefully in there. Cross your fingers. Next up for base game changes, we can now interact with the shoe rack. So we can wear slippers indoors or remove shoes indoors and allow shoes indoors. So that's the current rule. So that is the masculine shoe rack and the feminine shoe rack for base game are now interactable, just like the ones if you have Snowy Escape. So this is amazing. Okay, so another thing that has been updated is just a simple labeling one. So rather than quick meal or drink, or whatever it used to be, it is now have a microwaved quick meal or drink, and then you've got your options there coming through. I don't have any options because I don't have a microwave. Oops. So another update has been to columns. Just excuse the roof there, it is an apartment build. So apparently the columns now will actually fade away, so they're not blocking builds. So let's put a couple of columns in and see if they fade away. Oops. So let's go back to live mode and oh my gosh, they fade away. Oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing? Beautiful fade away. So this is the switch control to this household option that is now available. I can't actually get it to work, so not sure what's happening there. Listen, as much as we love the managed world screens, every healthy relationship requires a bit of space. So we've declared a bit of independence from managed worlds, giving you the chance to switch your active household from live mode directly with the switch control to this household. So that's that option there. I imagine these things are part of the Snoop thing for rent, but this should be a base game option. So while we added this as a means to switch between units of your residential rental more seamlessly, this interaction will be available on the front door of all occupied residences, not just residential rental units. So yay, that's going to be perfect for rotational gameplay simmers, and it's just handy for lazy people like me who like to switch households and hate having to fuss around with managed worlds. It's just a more direct way of switching households, but at the moment I can't actually do that in game. So let's talk about some of the other bug fixes. So Sims who finish their drinks while also eating will now make sure to finish their meal afterwards. So Mrs. Landgrab, chugging your juice on the rocks doesn't count as a girl dinner. Okay, so child Sims with the genius trait will no longer gain the want to solve hard problems. They'll have to wait a few years before diving into such complex abstraction. So Sims with a fear of fire will no longer be tormented by constant unavoidable fires, starting while they're cooking. I haven't had that one. On a somewhat related note, Sims will no longer be given the option to cook together on broken stoves. I hadn't noticed that one either. In an attempt to curtail unwanted surreal horror gameplay, household members should no longer randomly be labelled as neighbours and become unable to use doors. I have had that issue. I didn't realise what was causing it, but I have had the issue where I couldn't use doors. It was annoying. So in the spirit of respecting the laws of physics, towels hung on the wall are no longer translucent when hit with natural light. Oh. Hadn't noticed that. Columns will now fade away, so we talked about that. So Sims will no longer be constantly using their phone at every hour of the day. So not a cell phone in sight, just simulated people living in the moment. Okay, interesting. So you actually would have to direct the Sims to use their phone. I'm assuming that would be the difference. Let's have a look in game. So I've got my little Simmies here. Well... 2 seconds in and he's on his phone. So, I don't know. We'll see if that... Maybe my game hasn't updated properly. I don't know. Well, proof's in the pudding, I guess. 2 seconds in and they're using their phone. But I imagine, like, if you want to game and stuff, you'll need to direct them now, perhaps. Or maybe they just do it less. Okay, so hairy house guests decided to shave in your Sim's bathroom will no longer cause the game to freeze. Good. Sims should now actually be able to finish writing songs. Oh, that's handy. Perhaps those of us with closets full of unfinished projects should take notes. Yeah, tell me about it. Child Sims will now only have age-appropriate thought bubbles. After plenty of confidence-building exercises, certain table lamps will no longer snap to the wall when placed and will be comfortable standing wherever you place them. I actually haven't had that problem. I know people have had this problem though. So infants who age up in a dirty diaper will no longer produce stink clouds as if to force to wear that dirty diaper into adulthood. Sims will no longer slip and fall in mud puddles while holding an infant. Adjusted frequency of body hair. Oh my gosh, yes. On randomized Sims to be slightly less excessive. That would be great. Some of the less friendly toddler and infant hairs have been taught proper conflict resolution and will now play nicely with hats. Oh. Sims living on private dwelling lots are now willing to make exceptions for food deliveries because everyone loves a good pizza, even territorial curmudgeons. Basement stairs should now play nicely with terrain when the lot has a raised foundation. Aha! So changing the foundation height should no longer stop windows from being placed on curved walls. Let's test this out. So basement stairs should now play nicely with terrain. Okay, so we need to build a room. Raise the foundation, a glumph, and then build a basement underneath and just see what the stairs do. I'm not entirely sure what the issue with the stairs was, but let's see if they interact okay. So if you just hold control, it'll put your stairs down a level, by the way. So that looks fine, and I just want to check the railings. Also look fine. Okay, looking good, looking good. So what's next? So changing foundation height should no longer stop windows from being placed on curved walls. Okay. So let's check that and delete that. So let's build a curved room. Once again, obviously we're having a few foundation issues. There we are. So lift that up onto a foundation. So let's go to our windows, curved windows, and yep, look at that. We can add our windows. Next up, Sims have learned what it means to be that guy and will no longer constantly ask what happened for no apparent reason during conversations. Sims who invite themselves over and make themselves a little too welcome have relearned their manners and should now not. Yes! So that's their random neighbours that just visit randomly and are suddenly in your house. That's super annoying and I like that fix. Glass walls over basements should no longer hide basement walls when viewed from above. We've educated Sims on the dangers of over-caffeination, so autonomous coffee-making drinking should happen a bit less frequently. Oh yes, that was annoying. Like, it happens with the tea thing as well. So that makes me happy because they're just constantly making tea. Ugh. Blonde gardeners and redhead pizza deliverers everywhere can breathe a sigh of relief because parents with greying hair swatches are now more likely to have children that match their base hair colour rather than unexpected red or blonde hair. Hadn't noticed that. Probably a good thing. So when loading back into a save and entering managed worlds, there's no longer a chance that occupied lots appear empty. I haven't had that issue. So a previously unnamed poohoo bush has now discovered its true name. Let's check that. I actually have no idea which one wasn't named, so I'll just show you the names and you guys, if you know, will be able to tell me. So there's the open air natural toilet. I'm pretty sure that was named. Wolf party bush. I think so. Nature's relief bush. I think so. The anything goes party bush and the duty calls model citizen bush. I feel like it's this one, but I could be wrong on that. Okay, well, it looks like all the bushes are named. Fabulous. On console, so hitting the undo button on the controller no longer pulls up the search bar in the build mode. So my buddy Observe Koala, she is a console builder and she was really excited about this bug fix. So I think this is going to be a good thing for particularly builders in with consoles. From what she was saying, it was quite an annoying little bug. So forcing you know, more of the keyboard mouse usage. Okay, so we have done all of the basics, I think, as far as the bug fixes. Now we're going to look at some specific packs. So kits, the nails from Poolside Splash are now tagged for both masculine and feminine frames in Sims. Okay, so Poolside Splash, nails, let's have a wee look. Here they are right here. And let's see. On him, let's see if there's any issues. Masculine, Poolside Splash, yep, there it is. Perfect. Okay, so as fun as it was, Sims should no longer grow, grow a second pair of feet when wearing the retro bikini from Poolside, which I didn't know that was a problem, but that's hilarious. Okay, moving on to laundry day. So hampers can now be dragged in and out of sim inventories in live mode. The excuses for putting off laundry end here. Let's check that. So I do have a laundry in this build by coincidence. I more often than not don't, but I actually do in this build. So let's drag it into our inventory. Done. Easy as that. I don't know why that's useful, but I assume there's a reason for it. So dirty cloth diapers will now go into laundry hampers where they belong rather than the floor where they do not belong. Do you get to choose what kind of diapers you have? Or are they all cloth? So will the diapers go into laundry hampers, or like if you don't have a laundry hamper, do they just go on the floor or do they go in the bin? Dream home decorators. So the standard gas oven by Blazing Ladles no longer disappears when placed on lots. Alright, I'll just move you out of the way, mate. Standard gas oven by Blazing Ladles. Okay. Alright, we need a counter for that. And standard gas oven. Well, it's there. It hasn't disappeared, so I go boom. Well, that has worked. My wedding stories. Certain veils should no longer force Sims to have red hair. Okay, so that's a good thing. Werewolves will no longer autonomously check on infants during their rampage. That's also a good thing. Plants no longer... Ah, yes! Plants no longer revert to dirt piles in dormant phases. This has been super frustrating. Oh, I'm happy about this. And instead will simply stop growing. Okay, that makes sense. They should also now only become dormant when entering the off seasons at the appropriate time. Perfect. Get famous. Sims who have chosen to forgo the spotlight will no longer gain unwanted fame. Yes, this is amazing. Okay, so you've actually got to seek fame instead of just like randomly becoming famous. Yeah, okay, I approve of that. Cottage living. Sims will now retain the heroic haggler buff when buying discounted items at village shops after haggling. Okay, cool. And your Sims will no longer be doomed to life of Sisyphean crafting endeavours. I don't know if I said that right. They should now be able to complete the task to create a cross-stitch for the taste of adventure Erin. Great. High school years. The pink swatch of the benchmark seating chair is no longer masquerading as blue in the preview. Let's check that. Let's see. So this is a blue swatch. So let's check the pink. Oh, nah. That hasn't been fixed. All right. Well, not updated in my game yet anyhow. So there's a few things that haven't really updated in my game yet. Might update when 4 comes out. So teens who get more than 250 Social Bunny followers should now be able to complete the 3rd level Admired Icon aspiration. That's great. Playing other households will no longer cause Sims to forget certain achieved milestones. Yay! So we gave that creepy tree in San Sequoia a stern warning. It should no longer be encroaching upon the buildable area of the Sequoia Cottage lot. Oh, let's check that out. Okay, so we are on the Sequoia Cottage lot in San Sequoia, and no encroaching tree. That's a thing of beauty. That was super annoying. Sims will no longer earn the first promotion milestone when getting a new job, no matter how much your Sim is willing to be annoying and debate the semantics of that. So good. Toddlers should now be able to sing a song with infants without being interrupted. Great. Moving on to Horse Ranch. Your adorable little money laundering scheme has yeed its last whore. Sims will no longer receive double the stated number of simoleons for selling mini goats and sheep. Oh, I didn't know about that. But to be fair, I haven't actually sold any mini goats or sheep. So that might be why. Sims riding horses should now have an easier time saying howdy. Sims will no longer be taunted by an unreachable log. Filled with frogs and Chestnut Ridge. Yes! Okay, that was super annoying. Like when I was doing all the horse ranch stuff, like there was that log and you want to collect it and you couldn't collect it and it was frustrating. So the era of heavy metal square dancing has waned. Sims will now only autonomously perform cowpoke dance if ranch music is playing. Okay. Yeah, good. And for rent, so they fixed an issue where rent could go into negatives or be excessively high. So cool. Well, thanks for joining me on this base game and a bug fix update. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about what has happened in your Sims game today. Catch you later, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for more information, for gameplay, for builds, and all sorts of things. Catch you later.